execute anyone if that is necessary.
And why don't you just start with me?
Hello, all you freaks and demons out there, and welcome to another episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. I am your host and master of ceremony for tonight's episode, Joseph Henry Vranick, and today I have with me...
You have Rein Conversey.
Tanner Richard Kraft. Hellboy. Dark Horse. My creator is independently owning my property, but publishes their comics through Dark. Ephus.
Oh my god!
Ephus.
You had two great bits all in one. Anyway, if you couldn't tell by Tanner referencing Hellboy and saying it twice, and if you couldn't tell by the title of this episode, we're talking about the Toxic Avenger reboot. No, I'm just kidding. We originally were, but I thought that movie was a piece of shit. Tanner's crazy.
I thought it was quite good, and everyone I know agrees with me other than Joe.
Tanner's crazy, but we're
haven't
going to
seen it
talk
yet.
about...
Rain, just lie and say you've seen it despite Joe.
No. Be an honest guy, Rein. Honesty is a good policy.
If anything, I would do the opposite, and if I did see it and I did like it, to keep the balance, I would have to be like, oh no, I don't know what
I've never. What's an Avenger?
What's toxicity?
Great album. That's what it is.
Anyway, so instead of that, I figured these movies are fucking great. I love these movies, and I made 35mm keychains for the second one that are now on sale on my Etsy shop. So this is a good way to promote that, and also a good way to talk about two movies I really like. Those movies being Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Directed by the one and only Guillermo Del Toro. Fantastic director we've talked about, I want to say a couple of times on the show, or have we just talked about the one? No, we've talked about Pinocchio. Okay, so we've talked about him a couple of times on here. So we're knocking two of his movies out in one go. But before we get into our discussion on Hellboy, the character himself, was based on a... I'd say still fairly obscure comic book character. Like he is popular, but he's not that popular.
These movies made a combined $250 million worldwide. He's not that popular.
Yeah, he's not that popular. Like, people know him, but not everyone knows Hellboy. In spirits of that, Hellboy kind of being an obscure character, there have also been a lot of comic book movies based off of, movies based on obscure comic book movies. Some of them aren't necessarily comic book movies. There's quite a lot of surprising ones out there, and I want to talk about obscure comic book movies for the warm-up question here quick. So we're gonna get started with the warm-up question being, what's your favorite movie based on an obscure comic book? I want to hear Tanner's response first.
Hellboy, the Crooked Man. Back to you, John. No, I'm kidding. I haven't actually seen that one. I heard it was okay. Yeah, who cares, because of the reboot. My answer to this question is actually going to be very brief because I don't want to get into it. A History of Violence. I think a lot of people don't realize that's based off of a graphic novel. It's my favorite Cronenberg movie. It is my favorite movie for the year it came out. And we are talking about it in its own episode in a couple weeks. So I don't really want to get into it too much because then I'll just be repeating myself in a couple weeks. But A History of Violence is fucking amazing. Back to you, Joe.
Do you have a second pick? I'm curious.
I'm
picking your brain.
Yeah.
I guess you can find one if you... Old?
Old is based off a comic book?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan
answer.
movie? Okay.
That's kind of a fun answer. I like that. Beyond that, as far as obscure
Thomas
stuff goes, I could say something like V for Vendetta, a movie I think is a little overhyped but still good. But I generally consider anything written by Alan Moore to just by definition not be obscure per the virtue of the fact that it's written by Alan Moore. That's just me. Beyond that, I guess I could say The Rocketeer. Everyone knows I love The Rocketeer.
Where are my Rocketeer heads?
We the Rocketeer heads. And
Rocketeer's a good movie.
hold on a minute. Is Over the Hedge based off of a comic book?
Yes, Over the Hedge is based off of a comic book.
New answer. Over the Hedge.
Over the Hedge.
Actually, new answer. Over the Hedge. The Over the Hedge version of the Ben Folds song "Rockin' the Suburbs." Final answer. Back to you, Joe.
Okay. Well, now that I've picked up Tanner's brain for a little bit, let's go over to Rein. What's your favorite movie based on an obscure comic?
So, sometimes for these episodes, I'm like, oh, I'm going to struggle to talk about this movie. Oh God, this sounds like a easy warm-up question. Oh, thank goodness, I can make up a bit for this once I admittedly have nothing really to say for the main course. But for this time, I didn't put too much thought into it. Maybe I would have a different answer if I really did some soul searching. I really should have done some more because I feel bad it being a superhero-y adjacent answer. Like, I wanted to be creative and say something not
Obviously,
that,
you're a
like,
big
Ghost World or whatever.
Barbarella fan.
Barbarella.
Finally, someone
Barbarella.
said it.
I don't know. Is that the Pam Anderson?
No,
one?
No, that's barbed wire.
Same difference.
No, yeah, that's like the anyway. My probably correct answer anyway would probably be The Mask, the original Jim Carrey one, not the sequel, which might be one of my least favorite movies ever.
Son of the Mask is one of like 50 movies I've given a half star to on Letterboxd.
Yeah, no. The classic rule of like, there's nothing worse than a comedy that's not funny. But no, the original Mask, that's a great time. I haven't seen it in a couple years, to be fair, but it was a classic for me growing up. Loved it as a kid. I even dug it a lot as a teenager. I remember, I don't know, that main character, such a nice. He's like an awkward, timid guy. He's like the good version of like a lot of creepy guy characters, where he's like, oh yeah, he's shy and weird, but hey, at least when he's Toon Man, all he does is just he just wants to recreate old Looney Tunes cartoons. He doesn't want to do anything creepy.
Doesn't
which
he
I think
sexually
is extra...
harass women?
I haven't seen it in a while.
I've seen it recently. He does not sexually harass women.
He's very flirty, from what I remember, but he doesn't like...
His best friend at the bank does.
Well,
yeah, I
that's
think I
just,
remember
it was
that.
the 90s.
But it's a fun movie. I have not seen the original comic. I'm aware of it.
It's a
and I think the changes...
lot darker. It's like an M-rated comic. It's like a dark comedy type thing.
I remember when I was in high school, still not seeing it. I was like, oh man, I wish they would have done that instead. But this is cool too. And now, as an adult, I'm like, you know what? Hypothetically, maybe I would be disappointed with the changes if I read the original run, but I don't see myself saying that. It's a fun movie. And I think they handled the dark subject matter. They do a good job adapting it, and great effects for the time too.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened with The Mask was that the producers that bought the rights for it were struggling to find an actor that could accomplish the type of things under makeup, without makeup, etc. The type of things they would need to do in order to, because CGI, was around. It's in the movie, but it wasn't that advanced yet. So they were like, we need to find an actor that can do this stuff. And one producer basically said, well, I've found an actor. The only catch is you're gonna have to make a kids movie. Because at the time, that's what Jim Carrey would have been good for.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, and we got the Mask that we know and love today.
Yeah, I mean, he was born for the role.
Yeah.
I think I'm dragging this on a little bit though, so I will end it there. Fun time, holds up pretty darn well from what I remember. Back to you, Joe.
So an interesting thing about Over the Hedge is that I'm looking at its Wikipedia page right now, and I'm discovering that Over the Hedge made more money than both of the movies we're talking about today combined.
Incredible.
I can see that.
But good pick, Rein. The Mask. I have seen The Mask recently. It holds up. It holds up pretty well. Also, fun fact about why it's less of a violent, dark movie adaptation. according to one of the producers, I guess someone at New Line Cinema said that they wanted the mask to be the next Freddy Krueger, but the producer responded with, "But here's the thing: we've already got that Freddy Krueger." Yeah, this was like right at the tail end of the end of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies for New Line, also known as the house that Freddy built. Anyway, my time to shine on this opening question. So when I posed this question, I'm gonna kind of do a thing that Tanner did with one of his opening questions. When I posed this question, I did not realize just how many goddamn movies were based on obscure comics, or just kind of culty kind of comics. So let me list off a couple of them. A couple based on obscure comics. As we mentioned, Over the Hedge, The Rocketeer, Blue is the Warmest Color, R.I.P.D., The Mask, Barbarella, Push, Wipeout, Cowboys and Aliens, Snowpiercer, Mystery Men, 30 Days of Night, From Hell, The Kingsman, Old Boy, Wanted, Time Cop, Ghost World, A History of Violence, Jesus. Edge of Tomorrow, Road to Perdition. If we want to go into the Marvel stuff, we could say Guardians of the Galaxy, Blade, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Howard the fucking Duck. Hold on, what?
You should say fucking Blade is obscure.
He was at the time.
He was at the time. That's fair.
Everyone knows him fucking now.
No
one knew the
fucking Wesley Snipes.
My barometer for if a character is obscure or not in the Marvel universe is whether or not they were featured in either Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. So Blade was
but in 1998 or 2000, I forget what the exact year, but no, it was
1997. Before 1997, he was obscure.
He was a British man wearing green before.
So do you guys think Bruce Willis liked playing the main character in Over the Hedge, or Spike from Rugrats?
Anyway, so those are a couple of obscure ones. Some of my favorites on that list were, as mentioned, Ghost World, Sin City, 300's a fine movie. V for Vendetta, Kick-Ass, but oh yeah, it wasn't on this one, so I am gonna pick this one. Initially, I would pick Men in Black for this answer, but we already did an episode on that. Go watch that when you're done here. My pick for this is gonna be one that I was not on the episode for. It's Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, so sure, you were gonna say Bulletproof Monk.
Totally, I'm a big Sean William Scott fan.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't love Stifler?
Is he alive?
Sean William Scott's still alive. What are you talking about?
I don't keep up with him.
Shame.
I wanted to say yes, but then I was trying to think when the last time I seen him in anything was when he was
Rain.
Country Mac.
Thank you, Rain.
Always Sunny.
He kind of just comes in waves.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, there's a refractory period. Most men do that.
Edge of Tomorrow, great fucking movie. It's like, oh hey, what if Groundhog Day, but with violence, aliens, and Tom Cruise, and Emily Blunt being hot. There's a lot of good stuff in that movie. The episode that we did on Edge of Tomorrow is also a great episode. I wasn't on it, but a bunch of these guys were. You should go watch that when you're done.
Joe, can you remind me, was that recorded the day before the election or right after the election? I think it was right before the election, but came out after the election.
I have no fucking clue. Either way, Edge of Tomorrow, great fucking movie. You want to know what else are good movies? Hellboy and Hellboy 2, the Del Toro double feature we're doing today.
Listen, Sammy, I'm not a very good shot, but the Samaritan here uses really big bullets. What do you say we work this out in a nice, peaceful... Oh, crap.
So we're just gonna get right into this shit. Rein, what are your thoughts on Hellboy and Hellboy 2?
Alright, girl, what a great way to set the mood. First thing, not 100% related to everything, but I might have ranted about this before, but I do think it's really interesting how, I've noticed Guillermo Del Toro, might be the least disliked director ever. Sorry, excuse me. So, for example, like, if you ask, like, just a regular person on the street, who's the most, like, beloved director? A lot of people probably say Spielberg, but, like, obviously in a lot of film circles, he's kind of seen as, like, the bringer of, like, the dark days of blockbusters and stuff. And
I don't
like,
think anybody whose opinion is worth caring about thinks that anymore, though, for what it's worth.
He's just a small city dork. I remember one of my film professors back at Webster, he was, like, I was in a Coen Brothers film class, and he was talking about how, kind of like going over the history of cinema. He was, the classic, like, really passionate about, Golden Age of Hollywood, and then not really, loving, the 70s, the Brad era, and then as soon as George Lucas and Spielberg hit, he was like, ugh.
Movies are over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, he's an asshole.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
But I feel like the real answer would be for the least disliked director would be Guillermo Del Toro. Sorry if I said least liked. Obviously, I was being wrong. I mean, like, I don't know anyone who's a Guillermo hater. I mean, like, is he like a lot of people's favorite director? He's a lot of people's favorite director, but he's not like everyone's favorite director. But, like, I don't know anyone who's like, oh man, that overrated hack.
I'm jealous of you.
All right,
You haven't met these people that I've met.
I'm not always online enough, maybe. I don't know, maybe because he's a... What are you going to say, Joe?
I'll also say this. It's very hard to hate such a teddy bear of a man.
Yeah.
Like, that man just seems like such a sweetie.
Yeah. Who hears that story about, like, from Pacific Rim where, like, during the flashback scene, the little girl on set is like, hey, can I call you, like, I think it was, like, Guillermo Del Toro or something? It's like, yeah, of course. Like, that's so heartwarming.
Remember how James Cameron, like, personally intervened to save his uncle?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, his, like, uncle got kidnapped by the cartel, and James Cameron personally put up the ransom money.
Oh, shit. Man. Life's interesting.
This was in the 90s, before he even made an English language film, I think.
Yeah. Well, technically... Wait, wasn't... His first movie was, Kronos, right?
Oh.
Which had some English in it.
Yeah, but it's not predominantly English, right?
Yeah.
It's not. No,
Yeah,
it's not.
not
I'm doing the, like... Well, actually... Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Guillermo, we all love him. Everyone loves him as a person. Most people like him as a director, at the very least. Not a lot of haters. His hater fan base is pretty small. I checked the Facebook group. It's true. Anyway, yeah, Hellboy 2. Good to start off with me, I guess, because I'm going to be the most negative one, at least for the first one. I was not too hot on, so I guess going back, Hellboy 1, Hellboy 2, I've seen the first one like at least 5 times before my recent rewatch for the podcast. Was always a big fan of it. I remember liking Hellboy 1, but for some reason I only watched it like once or twice before this. Like all the way through, not counting like it being on the background on FX as a kid or something. But I'm honestly not the biggest fan of the first one. I think what really elevates it is I don't know, I think most of my problems were with the script. I think Guillermo does a good job elevating it with his direction, and then more so than it, and of course also, how charismatic and how passionate he is with his monster creature effects. That as obvious it is, it should also not go unstated. And Ron Perlman's performance. I would say that's like the number one thing that really really drives up the first one, even more than Guillermo's directing. I might controversially say. But as far as like the actual like I don't know, meat and bones of the story, I noticed on this recent rewatch not really giving that much of a shit. Like I kind of gave a shit more because like, oh man, I love Hellboy. Versus like, oh man, I'm loving this story, I'm loving these characters. Like for example, the Fire Lady is, I don't know, something I guess I noticed across both of these movies is they're I guess more, they were bigger popcorn flicks than I remember. I remember them being more, I don't know, especially because I've seen the second one so many times. I remember there being more to it. Maybe sounds too mean. It's especially true for the first one. I don't know. I just I didn't really get too much out of it. I was outside, just the fun surface level. Like, oh man, look at this cool shit, and they're fighting cool shit. Doesn't help for the first one. I get for budget reasons why it was just the same monster over and over again, but I can't say it improved my enjoyment of the film. Ron Perlman does a great job with everything. I realized I didn't have a point there. I just was like, hey, I should mention Ron Perlman again because I remember his name, so I really should drive that home. Hey, I know my shit, guys.
You're doing great. Sweetie.
Thank you. I think the character like most negatively impacted is the girlfriend character across these movies. Like as in my rewatch, I was like, maybe when I was younger, I didn't care about her because she was just regular human and not fun ghost machine man or fish man. She's just a regular lady that has bad CGI fire in the first one and passable CGI fire in the second one. But she is kind of like a generic girlfriend character. I don't think we get too much out of her besides the very surface level stuff that would come with a character with her backstory and all that. I don't know. I feel like my biggest complaint is if you're not, for the first one, if you're not a Hellboy or Abe, I don't really give a shit about you. Maybe again, I don't know. Maybe it's just, well, no, I like the dad man who dies. That Nazi sword man. What a fun villain. The one that's all weird and dusty. If you're not any of those people, you're just kind of bland background for a lot of this movie. I feel like, especially the main villain. Which I know Joe will get more into, and also I don't like the white bread cop FBI guy. I just assumed he died at this movie since I knew he wasn't in the sequel. But I was like shocked to see he was still alive. I was like, oh,
he gets the final line of the movie.
Yeah, yep. It's just that I don't know, and even like the love triangle that doesn't work at all for me. That's just like lame. It's like I can't imagine any rational human being picking this dweeb over Hellboy. Like, what the heck? But yeah, I don't know. So I guess when you get down to it for the first one, I think it's just a pretty whatever script. Like, it gets the job done, but all of my enjoyment, I think all the real soul and personality comes in Perlman's performance and Guillermo's direction. I mean, there's a lot of movies you can say that are like amazing movies where like, one or both of those things alone can make a great movie, but for me, it's just a little too standard. Everything else for me to, say it's just to say anything more than I think it's just pretty good. Hellboy 2, Golden Army. I guess the worst part is I was a little disappointed. Like I said, I've seen this movie like 5 times. Like before I was a big movie person, this was probably one of the movies I've re-seen more than a lot of others. But I think the thing I don't know, it does pretty much everything better than the last one, other than, I think Joe made a good point in the group chat, I remember, where the color grade, I do think there is something where, like, the first one over the second one, where it's a little bit, it makes sense for the story, why it's more, flashy, or why it's more of, like, a straight fantasy thing, whereas I don't know, I think the first one, in some respects, visually does a better job balancing out the horror and the action, whereas the first one's more just like a fantasy film that's kind of dark sometimes. Also, before I move on to more to the second one, I think the first one, that Abe scene with the chase scene, I think that's probably one of my favorite scenes, like action wise, in the movie, and like stakes and like tension, where he's in the water and he's gotta go against the other guy. Anyway, the second one, everything better pretty much. I actually give a shit about what's going on the entire time. I was emotional, more than I wish I could say I was for the second one, or for the first one, but I wasn't that emotional for the first one. I can't smile without you. That's the best scene in the whole series. It's like, paradoxically, what I really wish from the series is it could, so the two best things about these movies are the like I said, charismatic creature effects, but also just the like the moment to moment just like downtime and banter between these characters when they're just like vibing and being their weird selves. That's when I think these movies are at their best. The plot is more engaging in the second one, but like still, I don't know. I feel like it kind of serves just to like for these character moments than the other way around. It paradoxically makes me wish like this could just be like a TV series instead, so I could just get more time with these people vibing. But also then I have to deal with the reality of how then that would never happen. But then I had to deal with the reality. That would never happen. Be feasible because then Ron Perlman, you're not going to get him in that makeup chair for every fucking episode, but for a TV run-longing TV series like with that and keep it the same quality as for these films. So with that physical reality in mind, it's probably better it's a movie. But still, it's like I don't know. I wish I could just have multiple episodes of just these people vibing at the office. I think I would. Be a lot more invested in that than I am in a still good movie. I think the action is more creative. I think the second best scene across these movies is the part with the tree creature dying, the nature god. Just like how the beauty of it, but also just like how terrible it is, and I don't know, that got me a little choked up just seeing it in the snow. I think one of y'all or someone else in the group chat mentioned how like, man, Guillermo does whenever he does something in the snow, it just looks amazing. He really knocks that out of the park. And then, so yeah, I think the second one is a very solid movie. I was a little disappointed. It didn't capture me just quite as much as I remember it did on previous rewatches when I was younger, but still quite a big fan. And in case I don't get a chance to mention general discussion, I love Abe. I love Abe so much. He was my fave when I was young. Seeing this as youth, he's still my fave. I love that man. I don't know. I feel like that's the gist. I feel like I've been going on very long, so I will stop it there. Back to you, Joe.
Hell yeah. And you're not kidding when you mentioned that I'm gonna have a lot to say about the villain of the first movie. I've got some things to say, and we'll get to that when we get to that. Tanner, you're next. What are your thoughts on the Hellboy and Hellboy 2?
Well, after watching Hellboy 1, I think it's time I officially make a stance about something that I think is deeply disturbing, dark, and disgusting amongst the fellow members of the Bomb Squad, which is that I am sick and tired of being the only one here that seems to like audience surrogate characters.
Oh, no, that's just I tend not to like those people too much.
I like audience surrogate characters. I was the only person that liked Cole Ham, or whatever his name was. Clearly didn't like him that much. Thank you, Cole Young, in Mortal Kombat. Clearly I'm the only person in the world that did it, because when I watched the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, I think he's not in the movie. And in this movie, I thought Rupert Evans, John Myers, was a fun character. I like him. The love triangle stuff sure doesn't really work. But also, when I watched it this time, I didn't even really interpret it as a love triangle thing. More just Hellboy being stupid thing, which he kind of is. That's what we love about him. In the beginning of the movie, they say he's basically in his late 20s, and I'm like, hell yeah, me too. What were you saying, Joe?
Well, they also kind of confirm he was trying to make it a love triangle when they're in the tunnels, and Liz just kind of gives him a look like,
yeah.
Oh God, listen to what Rein said. You really think I'm gonna pick you over Hellboy?
I guess I missed that line. Point being, I think he's fun.
He even did the shoulder, he was clearly. Look, earlier in the movie when he was like, "Hey, we gotta help this lady. She's clearly we really gotta." If she would have been like some dopey middle-aged man, he would not have said these things. It's because, whoa, she's hot. I gotta do something.
I have autism.
Man, to be on the other side of that one.
Just completely missed that completely. Just didn't pick up on that at all.
I have no autism when I'm watching a movie. when I have like this is like because all dialogue has points and all framing has like points to it. I have no clue when someone's flirting with me IRL, but when I'm seeing a movie, it's like, oh hey, these two characters, they're profiled like two profile shots looking at each other in the frame. Oh, they're about to kiss. Oh, they're still going to be romantic. I have no autism when I'm in movie mode.
Fair enough. I don't know. I like Rupert Evans and John Myers. I'm defending him because I feel like I'm going to be the only one to do so. I think him and Hellboy have a fun dynamic. I like him as the straight guy relative to Hellboy. The movie doesn't really have a straight man beyond him, someone to be like, I just like it. Listen, especially for an introductory movie, I like it when there's a guy going around, what the fuck? I like the what
I understand.
the fuck?
I understand.
Because it just leads to comedy. Now, it's okay that he's gone for the second movie. They even make a fun little crack in the second movie about he's gone. And I'll get more into that when I talk about the second movie. First off, the strengths of the first movie, I largely agree with Rein. I still like it a lot. I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd. I don't think I stand by that, honestly. I think I'm going to be honest. I was half paying attention to the first Hellboy. I mean, I was paying attention, but I've seen it before. I know what's going on. Clearly not that well, but I know what's going on. Really what it comes down to is I think the core cast is really stellar. I like the Rupert Evans character, and I think he's good. Jeffrey Tambor is fun. Doug Jones is doing a wonderful physical performance, and David Hyde Pierce is doing a wonderful voice acting performance. I agree that Selma Blair's Liz Sherman is a little underwritten in the first movie. I think she's much betterly written in the second movie. Yeah, I think it's good in the second movie, but it's really nothing here. I'll give you that. But I like her performance. John Hurt's a lot of fun. Really, even the villain, the Rasputin guy, who's just not a very good villain. I think the performance is decent.
He looks cool.
He does look cool.
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
It's not really Carol Roland's fault that he's underwritten. He's doing the most he can with the material, and I think it makes it entertaining enough. It's a good origin movie. I don't have that much to say about it other than Rein pointed this out. Holy shit, watching this movie, every time Liz did a fire thing, I went, what the fuck? I don't remember it looking like that.
My CGI standards are low. I'm fine with the first one's fire effects, but the second one's fire effects, but the first one,
like what the fuck? I understand fire is actually one of the most challenging things to animate. So it's fine. Yeah. I get it. And considering that this movie had a budget of what, $60 million, which went a lot farther in 2004 than it does in 2025. Still, I can't imagine a movie like this costing under $100 million now. Oh,
yeah.
Just because of inflation and just the amount of makeup work, you can't get it to that price point now.
Yeah.
Movies just cost more to make. I don't know. Honestly, I don't have that much to say about the first Hellboy other than it's a great thing. Oh, and as far as performances go, Ron Perlman's best role?
Yes, 100% it is. And I love Ron Perlman in a lot of
I think he's done a lot of wonderful work. He's, he's great in looking at his IMDb page.
There's probably some movies where I'd say like maybe that's I don't know. It's his most iconic performance.
Well, I think
I'm confident saying that.
Hold on. Is it his most iconic performance?
All right,
I
so
would argue it is.
There's two competitors. There's his Teen Titans Deathstroke, and then there's also the Fallout. I guess.
I was about to say I think being the narrator of Fallout is arguably more iconic. Not that these movies aren't big, but like I feel like Fallout has way more cultural cash than
that is like the biggest thing that he has a big part of.
In general does.
But as far as something where he gets to really play a character, I'd say this is his most iconic.
It's like, it's kind of like when you hear the name Ron Perlman, what is the first thing that you think of? It's typically Hellboy.
Oh, that guy, character actor who's in a lot of things.
Because he's just like the face of that franchise.
He is the face of Hellboy, but legitimately, when you when you ask me Ron Perlman, what's the first thing I see? I'm going to be honest, it's Fallout power armor.
That's fair.
All right. But then again, I also think Police Academy, because he's in Police Academy.
Actually, when you tell me to picture Ron Perlman, the first thing I picture is Percy Jackson in the Sea of Monsters. You know he's in that? Because I did it. I'm just looking at his letterbox page, and I've seen that movie. He's in the Spiderwick Chronicles?
Yup. Oh wait,
I mean, he's in a lot of things.
He's uncredited.
Anyway, we're getting off topic. Tanner, go back to your thoughts on Hellboy.
My favorite Ron Perlman movie is Scooby-Doo, Where's My Mummy? Anyway, Hellboy, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. It's a great start. Hellboy 2, The Golden Army is one of my favorite Guillermo Del Toro movies, and since he is one of my favorite directors, that by extension kind of makes it one of my favorite movies ever. I would say that there are only 3 Del Toro movies better than Golden Army. My favorite Del Toro movie is The Shape of Water. My second favorite Del Toro movie is Pan's Labyrinth. My third favorite Del Toro movie is Crimson Peak. And then after that, it's Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. And honestly, depending on the day, I could probably be talked into liking The Golden Army more than Crimson Peak. I feel like I'm also reflecting kind of a popular opinion with how much people like his movies. I feel like that's the general ranking, but still, maybe the new Frankenstein will be better. We'll see. Yeah, I fucking love The Golden Army. The action, it's better. The comedy, the humor, it's better. Making Jeffrey Tambor a much bigger part of the movie in the second movie, brilliant decision. I love how just stupid and angry he is all the time.
Yeah, he does a good job with that.
I like to pretend that his character in this movie is the same as his character in Arrested Development. They act kind of the same.
I also kind of want to shout out him briefly. I probably shouldn't because he's also been canceled.
Well, naturally.
But I will say this though: when Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, aka Traitor, like maybe 2 days after Del Toro pitched Hellboy 3 to a studio, literally 3 days after he failed to get Hellboy 3 off of the ground, pitched a reboot and got it greenlit. Jeffrey Tambor was the first one to call him out on that bullshit, and you know what? Yeah, fuck you, Mike Mignola. Jeffrey Tambor's right, you fucking traitor.
I was hoping we would get into that.
The thing that pisses me off especially about that is that Mike Mignola pitched it as this is going to be a more comic accurate adaptation of Hellboy, which fuck you, dude! You worked on these movies!
Yeah, if we're going to get into that, I'll get into this real quick. I do agree that it is stupid that Mike Mignola defends the new Hellboy movies being more comic accurate, especially since when Guillermo Del Toro signed on to this movie, the producers had a bunch of suggestions like, what if he's a human that turns into Hellboy when he's angry? Or what if he's still from hell, but he just looks like a human? And Del Toro shot that down and basically refused to work on the movie unless it was comic accurate, except for the adjustments he made. I think it's stupid that Mike Mignola did that. I also, at the same time, am a big believer in anything anti the Marvel/DC model when it comes to comic creatives, and I do ultimately believe that the creators of these characters should have the ultimate say in what happens to them. And while it is sucky, shitty, and stupid that Mignola basically sabotaged Hellboy 3 and basically refused to ever let it happen, I don't know, I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I said he wasn't right to do that.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just very shitty the way he threw Del Toro
and it's shitty the way he did it. I don't like the way he went about it, but it was his right to do that. Okay. Especially because I'm fairly confident that whatever Guillermo Del Toro was pitching for Hellboy 3 would have required a bigger budget than Hellboy 2 had. And I don't know if Hellboy 2 made its money back.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to mention that. But I'll.
I don't know if either of these movies made their money back. I'm gonna be honest.
I will say, I guess while we're talking, I feel like I forgot who I'm interrupting right now, but I understand why they don't as much as I would have loved a Hellboy 3, I can't blame the producers for not greenlighting it, because I remember Guillermo, he wanted like a really big budget for the second. I forgot what the number was, but it was like, oh wait, no, they're not just being anti-creative assholes. Like, no, this movie will not make that money back, wherever the number was. I think it was well over 100 million.
Hellboy 1 had that $40 million budget. Hellboy 2 basically doubled the budget and only made about $70 million more dollars. It cost about $85 million to make and made up about $170 million at the box office. Now, with VOD sales and DVD, Blu-ray, physical media sales back then, that probably made money in the long run. But if a blockbuster, which, let's be honest, at an $85 million price point based off of a comic book character, this movie is a blockbuster. If a blockbuster isn't making its money back at the box office, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
Again, the way Mignola went about it is shitty, but Hellboy is his baby. That's my stance. What were we talking about?
Back to your thoughts, Tim.
The movie. Golden Armies fucking rules. Way better villain. The villain's like a lot more interesting. It's a lot more fun. I think it's a more scene-chewing performance. The big thing, especially watching Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2 back to back, is Hellboy 1 gives you the impression that like these freaks and monsters only really exist on like the very, very fringe. Like they live among us, but there's only a handful of them. There's Hellboy. It seems like the Bureau of Monster whatever has a handle on most of the freaks already, and there's only a handful outside of that. Well, Hellboy 2, it's just like, yeah, so it's like a Harry Potter thing. It's a secret society that lives alongside us all, and it's just hidden because reasons. It's a big jump, but it works. I think the movie's earned that. The action's better. The makeup's better. It was nominated for an Oscar for a reason. Basically everything about the first movie that you like is dialed to 11, but also the emotional pathos. Can't Smile Without You. I sobbed like a baby. I'm not gonna lie, I sobbed like a baby. It's very emotional. Perlman nails it. The moment is just perfect. And also, you know what else made me cry, surprisingly enough? When the sister stabs herself to save the day. I was like, damn, that sucks. Poor Abe.
Yeah. Yeah, her and Abe were so cute together. They should have stayed a couple. I'm so angry.
They should have found a way to resurrect her. Same. Abe cries, I cry. I wish I had more to say about it. Beyond that, I was about to say something about it and I forgot. Fuck. Give me a minute. Sorry.
Movie great.
Sorry. I love the Hellboy 2. Oh, I remember. The big character addition to this movie, Cross or whatever, is like such a fun addition. I love his little German accent shit and the antics, especially the locker room scene where Hellboy busts his suit open, and I think Hellboy legitimately thinks, "Did I kill him?" I have to imagine the thing going on in Hellboy's head in that moment is like Sandman in No Way Home, like, "Where'd he go? Did you kill him?"
Yeah.
Just like he thought he
Voiced
killed
by
him.
Seth
I don't
MacFarlane.
trust you. I don't know you.
And thank you for bringing that up, Rein, because like the whole movie, I was like, wow, what a fun character. What a fun character. The voice acting was really brilliant. It was serious, but at the same time, it had this playful energy to it. I love it. Who voiced this character? Let's watch these. Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Legitimately my reaction. I don't know if I knew that before and forgot about it, or I just never knew this. Did not know that was Seth MacFarlane.
This is my first time watching it, knowing that, and it makes sense. I mean, it does sound like him when you.
Well, I looked up some clips from the movie.
He does a good job.
Like, oh yeah, that obviously is Seth MacFarlane doing a German accent, but
yeah, he does a good job doing funny cartoon.
Honestly, it kind of just sounds like Brian with a German accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, Brian is basically MacFarlane's neutral voice.
Him. Yeah.
But it was just really impressive. Also, Doug Jones doing the voice of Abe Sapien in this one, such a great thing. Doug Jones is legitimately like one of my favorite actors. I think all actors obviously value physicality in their performances. I think You'd be hard pressed to find a good actor that doesn't value that. There are good actors that don't really have the physicality, but Doug Jones is such a brilliant physicality actor. I will forever think that he deserved to get a nomination for The Shape of Water, but he was never in a million years going to get it for a performance where he doesn't say a goddamn word.
Agreed.
But Doug Jones is such a brilliant actor, and you know what? I miss Doug Jones. When was the last time he was in something?
I love that guy. The last time he was in something is the Fantastic Four premiere press thing.
I thought you were about to blow my fucking mind and say he was in the new Fantastic Four movie, and I missed it. Hold on, let's go to Letterboxd and release date, newest first. Wow, a lot of, yeah, this is
I know he had a character in the original Hocus Pocus, so he came back for the sequel.
Yeah, that's not what I'm reacting to. A lot of
I haven't pulled up any of his newest stuff.
Yeah. Is that a Batman fan film?
That is a Batman fan film.
Oh,
thank God. I thought you guys were going to say
Doug Jones. Jesus Christ.
Thank God. I thought you guys were about to say, like, oh no, he did
He's dead! I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at this Batman fan film Doug Jones plays the Riddler in. Fucking Kevin Porter plays Batman? Like the guy from Dodgeball. What?
Oh, man.
Wow, he hasn't worked with Del Toro since The Shape of Water. What's up with that?
Yeah, what is up with that?
I thought there were like two peas in a pod. Not the point. Hellboy 2 is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's in after this most recent viewing, I went add to all-time favorite movie list because it's just that good. And on my 2008 movie rankings, I had this below Iron Man, and I fixed that. I love the Golden Army so much.
Really?
I do love it more than Iron Man, and I love Iron Man. But like when I watch Hellboy 2, I think that is one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't think I feel that when I watch Iron Man. So
they're both solid movies, but for me, I think the first one might be the Iron Man one might be a little better, like end of the day quality wise. I don't know, but like I don't know, the heart, it doesn't have the heart of Hellboy 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. Iron Man for me is missing that heart. Not that both of these.
It has enough heart, but it doesn't have as much. It does not have nearly as much.
That Tony Stark has a heart.
My point being is that Iron Man doesn't make me cry. Hellboy 2 makes me cry.
Exactly.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
I don't know. Now I feel like I'm talking myself into taking it off my list. I don't know.
No, don't take it off your list.
All right. Back
anyway.
to you, Joe.
Okay, cool. My time to shine. I'm going to try and get through this so that we can have a general discussion. So, I fucking love both of these movies to varying degree. These movies were kind of special to me in my childhood years because they were... It's very funny to say this considering just how goddamn tame these fucking movies were, but they were the movies that I felt like I was getting away with something by watching them because neither of my parents wanted me to see any of these fucking movies, and I'm pretty sure it is just because of the title. When an 8-year-old comes up to you and says, "Mom, can I watch Hellboy?" That's gonna raise alarms for parents, I think. And my dad is a super hardcore Catholic a-hole. I almost said atheist. No,
I was about to say Catholic atheist. What is your father, J.D. Vance?
Yeah.
He's just as bad.
Does he have the eyeliner?
He might.
Damn.
No, he doesn't. He went on a whole fucking thing when Macklemore did the Same Love Song and they had the same-sex marriage at the Grammys. That one, he sitting in that room with him and just the things he had to say about it was not fun. My dad, homophobic piece of shit. Fuck you. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Hellboy. But those movies, when I was a kid, They were the movies that I felt like I was getting away with something by watching them. My grandma didn't give a shit because she watched them with me and was like, "Oh, it's just a dumb action movie with monsters," and that's how I watched Hellboy. And I've revisited them both recently. I watched them by myself at my work in the Alamo Drafthouse. The first Hellboy, I especially fucking love the look of that movie in particular. I think I just like the darker, like, early 2000s look personally. It's just like a nostalgic kind of thing for me. So I'm probably going to be prone to liking the look of that a little bit more. But I do like the look of Hellboy 2, don't get me wrong.
I know exactly what
think,
you mean.
I think what helps it is that, like, nostalgic color grading for me. And also, it kind of leans a little bit more into kind of its horror roots, because at the end of the day, Hellboy comics are flat-out fucking horror comics. They're a little less fantasy. They're more horror. So there's that. I love the look of it. I love the set design. The acting is also, like, really good in this. Ron Perlman is bringing his fucking A game. John Hurt, reliable actor, classic actor. We love John Hurt. Doug Jones, David Hyde Pierce combo. I definitely noticed the David Hyde Pierce dubbing a little bit more on this revisit, but I think they both do a good job. I don't hate David Hyde Pierce doing the voice. I think he does a great job. I personally think Doug Jones does it better, but David Hyde Pierce is also good. Yeah, Liz Sherman's kind of underwritten. But you know what? Selma Blair's making it work. We stand Selma Blair in this house. She's making it work as best she can. And I do like Rupert Evans. I was blanking on his name for a second. I think he brings some groundedness to the movie, and I do like the Myers character. What I don't like about the Myers character is his whole it's like I can fix her subplot with Liz. I could not get into it. It kind of hurts that character for me. I don't know how they'd be able to fix it, but that's the one thing I really don't like about that character. I'm also, and it's kind of the same thing in the comic for me too, where it's like this villain is a very important villain in Hellboy comics, but he's also not that interesting. I don't give a shit about Rasputin in this movie. There's just nothing to that guy. And I wonder if part of that is because, he's also this real historical figure that exists. And we're supposed to kind of have that mentality going into it, but I don't know. I think that character just needed more substance than what he had to be more interesting than he was in the movie. He is very bland. I don't give a shit. Not the fault of the actor to any stretch of the imagination. He is trying to make that role work with what he has. But I will admit, it is kind of upsetting when you have a much more interesting villain in Karl Rupert Cronin. Like, everything from his design to just the way he fights, just to, like, his backstory. He is such a he's such a fundamentally more interesting character than Rasputin is in, like, every stretch of the imagination. But I don't think he'd make... But he is very much a side villain. I don't think you could make him the main villain. You probably could, I don't know, but I think he works best as a side villain, and he's fucking cool. Overall, first Hellboy movie, fun time. It's a really good Halloween, late November movie. I like watching that around that time of the year, like around Halloween, kind of the early stages of November. Hellboy 2 takes everything that worked about the first movie, cranks it up to 11 to make a 5 out of 5 masterpiece. If Pan's Labyrinth didn't exist, I would call this Del Toro's masterpiece. I'm kind of in the same boat with Tanner. I love The Shape of Water. I love Crimson Peak. I fucking love Hellboy 2 more than both of those movies.
Wow.
I don't know if I love it more than... I don't know if I love it more than Pan's Labyrinth, though. I don't think I can go that far. Pan's Labyrinth is fucking great.
Got them hand eyes.
But yeah. But everything from the characters to the set design to the makeup to the story to the thematics, everything is cranked to 11. Everything is done better. The villain is not only a very interesting character, but in a way a kind of sympathetic villain as well. Like, you get where he's coming from, you understand his motivations. You don't want him to succeed, but you understand where he comes from. I think Luke Goss does a really fucking great job in that role. He's doing a lot of subtle things in that performance that really make that character work. And it's kind of a shame that that guy's career just never went anywhere after this movie. Like, he's a really fucking good actor in this. Yeah, I love the villain. As a monster fan who likes seeing practical monsters in movies, this is like a wet dream for me. There's so many rubber monsters walking around in this, and they're fucking incredible. Abe is significantly much more of a character in this movie. Again, when Abe cries, I cry. Can't Smile Without You, man oh man. It is the scene of the franchise. It's funny, but it also means something. Overall, this movie is just fucking perfect from beginning to end, and I just kind of want to gush over it a little bit in general discussion. And I'll say this, that final shot of Hellboy 2 is such a great finale, like, not only to that movie, but to the Hellboy series. And man, oh man, it is very nice that they never made another Hellboy movie again.
I heard the Crooked Man was okay.
They never made another Hellboy movie again!
I like the 2019 one. I do not like the 2019 one, but I love the Rotten Tomatoes meter reveal because it kept going up, and then it just... It's so funny.
And it had like that... And it had that positive music going on in the background.
I'm pretty sure if you listen carefully to it, or no, it's not. There was some Rotten Tomato meter reveal that came out in early 2020 that if you listen closely, it's using the same audio as the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker tomato meter reveal because you can hear the Rise of Skywalker music in it.
That's incredible. But what else do we have to think about Hellboy and Hellboy 2? We'll find out after the break.
A nice baby.
I'm not a baby, I'm a tumor.
All right, and welcome back from that ad for another ad. Tanner, move your fucking head. You see that thing right behind Tanner? That's a movie palette. You want one? You can get one. They're really fucking cool. It's basically all of the primary colors. You can stop now, Tanner. It's all the primary colors of every frame of a movie, like the prominent color of every frame in a movie, all put onto a canvas. The one that Tanner has is for Punch Drunk Love. You've seen the one Tim has for Mandy. You can get one for Hellboy. You can get one for Hellboy 2. That Hellboy 2 would actually be a much more interesting movie palette color-wise. You can also get it for any other Del Toro movie that you may or may not want. Who knows? You can get one for fucking Mimic. You can get one for Nightmare Alley. Remember that?
I do. I like it.
I didn't care for it. But you can get all of that at moviepalette.com. But before you make your purchase, enter the code SQUAD15 and you'll save 15% off on your order. Fun times all around. We love moviepalette.com. Now back to general discussion. Tanner, you had something you wanted to bring up, so I'm going to pass it off to you.
Well,
first.
mostly Hellboy 2, like, kind of low-key almost didn't happen. I mean, it was always going to happen because the creatives involved wanted to do it. But, like, the creatives involved were offered other stuff to do other than Hellboy 2. Ron Perlman, here's a fun fact for you, was offered a role in a movie that came out in 2009, but he turned that movie down in favor of doing Hellboy 2 instead. Does anyone want to take a guess as to what 2009 movie Ron Perlman was almost in?
Oh boy, Avatar, Star Trek.
Not Avatar. That's 2010, I think.
No, Avatar
was 2009.
Oh, you mean?
Avatar was
I'm
Christmas
sorry.
of 2009.
Well, me responding that way gives you a little hint, believe it or not.
What was it, Tanner?
Yeah,
Tell
just
me.
give it.
It
lay
is
on.
the lowest rated movie in all of Letterboxd. 2009's Dragon Ball Evolution. He was offered the role of Piccolo.
Oh my god. He dodged a fucking bullet.
Boy, did he ever. Now, Del Toro was approached to direct 4 different movies that he turned down so he could do Hellboy 2. Those movies were, I think, in order from least interesting to most interesting that he could have done. He turned down doing the 2008 movie One Missed Call. I have no idea what that
Smart
movie
move.
is.
It's a J-horror remake. It's not good.
Okay. He turned down doing the 2007 Will Smith movie, I Am Legend. I imagine Del Toro might have stuck to his guns on keeping an ending more faithful to the book.
Yeah.
And I also imagine the monsters would have looked more interesting.
Yeah.
He turned down, he would have been the second of the 3 Musketeers to do one of these. He turned down Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Oh.
Which, how
Well,
interesting...
to be fair, he since Prisoner of Azkaban, he was offered literally every Harry Potter movie.
Basically, they were like, "Hey, you want to do Harry Potter?" And he'd be like, "No," and they'd be like, "Okay," and then they just kept hiring David Yates, who I actually like as a director. I think I don't want to get into Harry Potter too much because reasons, but
for what those movies are, David Yates was a good choice for director, and I had to do this for Harry Potter trivia. The reason why Del Toro turned Prisoner of Azkaban and then every subsequent movie down whenever they asked him is because, and I quote, he's a fan of the books and he was absolutely afraid that the studio would try to neuter J.K. Rowling's more darker and twisted vision from the books.
What do you mean by that, Guillermo? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? But I think the most interesting one is that he was offered to direct a movie that never even actually happened. Sir Peter Jackson approached Guillermo del Toro and said, "Mr. Del Toro, I'm producing a movie. Steven Spielberg's also working on this project. Would you like to direct Halo?"
Wasn't that a Neil Blomkamp thing, though?
It went through a
was
lot
at
of...
some point. I mean, it entered development hell, and I think what production happened on the movie eventually turned into the TV show, but I don't know. It could be because Spielberg's attached to the show. I think. Well, the show's canceled. Did it get a season 2? I think it got a season 2.
It did. It got
I think
a
it
season
did.
2, and it was lucky to get one.
Nobody likes that show.
I
don't know anybody that likes that show.
My friend who worked at Paramount at the time, he got us this. We got to see an episode of it early.
I remember
before
you
they
warned
finished
me.
the CGI.
You warned me that he took his helmet off.
Yeah, a lot, like frequently. It wasn't even like a big.
Like he spends
or
most of the
review
time
or
with his
whatever.
helmet off. You warned me about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And not that like I'm a huge Halo ad, but like hearing that made me go, "Oh, they don't understand what makes this character work."
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Halo, but even I knew, like, oh, that's just wrong.
Yeah, my brother's much more a big Halo fan, but I do like Halo enough to know that, yeah, no, you don't do that. You don't fucking do that.
So yeah, Guillermo del Toro's Halo. He's never really done sci-fi. The Shape of Water is kind of sci-fi-y, but beyond that, I don't think he's ever really approached sci-fi. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that's like the closest he's ever gotten to sci-fi. If you also kind of want to loosely include these movies as well.
Though, now that I think about it, I do believe a lot of people consider Frankenstein one of the first sci-fi novels, and he's doing Frankenstein, so something to think about.
True.
Point of the story, though, is that Del Toro turned down doing all those things, and Hellboy 2 is a lot better than all those movies. And I think even if Del Toro had done those movies, Hellboy 2 would still be the better one. Except, I don't know, because I've never seen a Halo movie. I don't know what that would have been.
No, I know it
Probably
wouldn't
not
have been
very
as good as
good.
Hellboy.
We're never
Hellboy
going to
2.
get a Halo movie, by the way. It would cost like $300 million. We are never getting a Halo movie.
Yeah, it's gonna cost way too much. It's like how we're not gonna get a Mass Effect movie.
I don't think
It's
that
never gonna
like
happen.
Mass Effect, I think, is more likely than Halo. I'm not kidding. If only because they've made the Halo show and failed. If they had never made the Halo show, we might have gotten a Halo movie still someday. But I think the show killed the chance we'll ever get a Halo movie. That, and I don't think anyone's really cared about the narrative of the game since Halo Reach.
Yeah,
That's like 15 years
my
ago at this
understanding.
point.
Yeah.
So
I'm on the subject of other
Yeah.
movies Del Toro could have directed, but instead made a Hellboy movie. I'm looking at IMDb. As we mentioned, he was offered Prisoner of Azkaban, turned it down to make Hellboy instead. You want to know what other movies he was offered?
I actually know the
but
answer
turned
to
down?
this. Can I say it?
Go ahead.
He was offered to do Alien versus Predator.
Correct. Yes, that's one of them.
And the reason that's
he-
interesting is that if I can just real quick here, Joe, sorry.
Yeah, go right ahead. No, you're good.
Guillermo Del Toro is the sole screenwriting credit on the movie, on the Hellboy one, right? But the two people have screen story credits. One of them is obviously Guillermo Del Toro. The other is a guy named Peter Briggs. Now, if you go to Peter Briggs' IMDb page, there's like fucking nothing going on there. He has 2 writing credits in his entire career, according to IMDb. He had the screen story for Hellboy, and he wrote a single episode of the 2015 Thunderbirds Are Go TV show, which I think is the Netflix one. But Peter Briggs got his start in Hollywood in the late 90s, early 2000s, because he is the person, and I think he deserves more credit for this, even though maybe we don't like these movies that much. Peter Briggs wrote the original Alien versus Predator spec script.
Oh.
Now, by the time it actually got turned into a movie, most of Peter Briggs' contributions were gone, other than the idea. It wasn't like he was hired to do an Alien versus Predator script. He wrote it and sold it to Fox.
Well, I thought this is Hellboy. We're not talking about other stuff, but I thought it was like it was from a comic. It was from the comics, like the spin-off comics is where that idea first came from. So
Briggs
Predator,
wrote his screenplay for Alien versus Predator in 1991.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that was before the spin-off comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the movies he had to he turned down because he instead wanted to make Hellboy. The other movie that he was offered, it's a movie I love to bring up as a joke. It's a cult favorite of mine.
The Preacher's Wife?
No, it's not The Preacher's Wife. It's the threequel to a movie series that he was also involved with.
He was offered Blade Trinity?
He was offered Blade Trinity.
Who directed Blade?
And
Goyer. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David S. Goyer said, "Fine, fuck all you losers, I'll do it myself."
David S. Goyer up to nowadays?
Probably not much. Speaking of going back to Hellboy, I wanted to look up alternate castings, and I've only been able to find one, and it might fucking blow your mind what I'm about to tell you.
Who almost played Hellboy?
Yeah, well, not only, like, this guy was offered Hellboy, but he was also offered Abe Sapien. I want you to venture a guess. Think big action star from the early 2000s. Who was a big action star who could have been offered this role?
Okay, real quick,
Pauly
I'm surprised. Pauly Shore. I'm surprised anybody else was ever offered the part, since I believe Mignola and Del Toro, like, both initially agreed it has to be Perlman. 2, I'm thinking of action stars big in the early 2000s. This can't be fucking right, but I'm having trouble thinking of any other names. Keanu?
No, not Keanu. Vin Diesel was,
Oh, okay,
was one of
actually
the options for not only Hellboy, but Abe Sapien.
Okay,
Oh.
I understand offering Diesel Hellboy. I don't think that would have worked. I don't
they're
think
both bald?
Diesel's a big imposing figure. I understand the physicality of it is what I'm saying. I can't imagine that
Right.
Diesel, like, I can't imagine Diesel going around being like, hey, baby, hey, Firestarter, I love you, baby. You know, I can't really, like, can't imagine that in the Vin Diesel voice. I'm sorry. The fuck you mean he was offered Abe Sapien? The fuck?
Yeah,
What?
That wouldn't work.
What, he said no to Hellboy, but they were so desperate to get Vin Diesel's name attached? Like what?
Yeah, I guess so.
Stupid.
I'm looking through like the alternate castings in the IMDb trivia. It doesn't say what part he would have played, but I guess when Del Toro announced that he was making the movie, I guess Hugh Grant was attached at one point. I don't know.
I could
who
see
he
Hugh
could've-
Grant playing Abe Sapien. I can also see him playing, if he wore makeup, the John Hurt part.
He could probably. I think at that point too, because this was like Love Actually era Hugh Grant, he probably could have pulled off either Manning or Myers, one of the two. Because he was still a romantic lead at that point too. So
I feel like he would have been too old for Myers.
he might have been too old for Myers at that point. Looking at it now, unsurprisingly, The Rock was also offered Hellboy. Well, the studio wanted The Rock to play Hellboy.
I have a controversial take. I don't think
okay.
that would have worked at the time, but I think if you offered The Rock Hellboy now, hot take, I think he could do it.
He probably could do it.
I'll have to wait and
Specifically
see
now
how
with like the way he
the
is, I
Smashing
think
Machine.
he's more willing to venture outside his typecast right now. At least that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Smashing Machine, like Rein said, and that'll be a big influence right now. But other people have seen the Smashing Machine, and the buzz seems legit. He does seem to be legitimately amazing in it.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, Hellboy.
Yeah, going back to Hellboy, I have one last alternate casting from the first movie here. And I don't know how much. Oh, okay. Well, I guess there's a quote from this actor, but he turned down the role of Hellboy, saying, "I was just reading the script and thinking, like, I don't get this." You want to know what actor turned down the part of Hellboy reading this, or maybe it says the role of Hellboy. It might have not have been the part of Hellboy. It's
Will
IMDb
Smith.
Take it with a grain of salt. No, it's even funnier, Tanner. He has an app, Jeremy Renner.
In 2004?
Yeah,
In 2004.
what's he doing turning down stuff in 2004?
Yeah, he was like on an episode of House MD in 2006. Like, what?
He was fucking Dahmer by that point.
Can we talk about some of the other directors that almost directed Hellboy?
Yeah, if we're
Sure.
if we're just doing trivia before.
Rain, I'm sorry. Do you have something you want to say?
Oh no, I don't. I think I ranted enough.
There are bits in the movie I would love to talk about, but let's go into that, Tanner, real quick.
Well, David S. Goyer was offered to direct this movie.
I am not surprised.
He directed
At
Blade
least
Trinity instead. Peter Hymans was offered to direct this movie. Now, who can tell me who that guy is?
Good question. I have no idea.
We referenced one of his movies earlier. That's the director of Time Cop.
Oh!
Most
yeah.
interestingly, however, considered by the studio is Jean-Pierre Jeunet. Do you guys know who Jean-Pierre Jeunet is?
I do.
Maybe.
That's the Amelie director.
That is the director of Amelie. What the fuck?
Oh,
He also directed Alien Resurrection.
yeah.
to be fair-
directed Alien Resurrection. Let's be honest with ourselves.
To be fair, I will say this. If it wasn't going to be Del Toro, Genet would have been a good pick, because if you've seen...
I think I agree.
In particular, The City of Lost Children, that is, like,
Yeah.
very, like, Del Toro, like, Hellboy-esque. He
Yeah.
probably could have made it work if
Also,
it wasn't going to be Del Toro.
can I make a confession?
Sure.
I like Alien Resurrection.
It's fun.
Oh, that movie's stupid. Don't get me wrong,
I
but it
think-
is kind of fun.
I think I like it more than Alien 3.
As the
that
world's
might be a little
biggest
too much
Alien
for me,
3
but-
defender,
Well, naturally, you disagree.
yeah.
I mean, I disagree too, because I just fucking love how fucking grim Alien 3 is. personally.
Alien, I
Yeah.
like Alien 3, but I love how fun Alien Resurrection is. I like the basketball scene.
Yes. Anyway,
the scene
Hellboy.
That, they had
Sorry,
to-
Hellboy,
that,
Hellboy. Joe, go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Back to Hellboy. So I want to mention the one moment in Hellboy 1 that happens towards the beginning with the Wilhelm scream. I just want to shout that moment out because it is very funny. Like the guy completely turns into a skeleton, lets out the Wilhelm scream, and then the skeleton melts. There's some funny shit in these movies, intentionally and unintentionally. Another bit that's kind of funny to me, and it's like two jokes on one. It's at the beginning of Hellboy 2. It's Manning and Abe. They're walking through the halls of the BRPD, or BPRD, whatever it is, the Bureau. And he's talking about how, and Manning's talking about how stressed out he is trying to like maintain Hellboy. And then in the background of the shot, you have like whatever the fuck is going on in the room with the alien squid thing. Like they're just trying to like restrain this fucking alien squid thing down. And then Manning is just like, I'm medicated. This isn't candy. It's an antacid. I'm just like, yeah, that you're totally medicated there, buddy. There's fun little gags in the movie. Anyone else got any fun gags they remember?
Selma Blair, her character, wears like fake breasts, which is really funny. This is true. I read about this earlier today. Her character, she's wearing fake breasts, which is really funny considering she's like wearing 3 shirts at all times during this movie. I don't get the point of that.
I don't get the point of that.
Is it just like early 2000s executives are like men are horny shit?
Makes sense.
That had to be. Yeah.
Makes a sense.
Was she practicing for the John Waters movie she would star in after this? I don't know.
Who knows? I'm going through my chat to find bits that I mentioned that I was watching. Let's see. Oh yeah, one little detail that I love about Hellboy's his arsenal of weapons. Specifically in the first movie, he's like showing off like all of these weapons and like the ammo that it comes with, and he's literally got bullets with like garlic, silver, a wood, like part of a wooden stake, like he's got everything in a bullet that you need to kill literally every demon, and that's kind of incredible. Like that, like little attention to detail is fucking weird. It's weird, but I love it. Also in that same scene, funny moment to me is he's flown out of the building after fighting the Samael monster, and he's with Myers behind the dumpster, and they're reloading the gun, and he's got like the squid thing on his arm, and he's like, Red, what's that on your arm? And he just kind of looks at it and goes, ah, crap.
Yeah.
Just so casual. Let's see. I noted this. They're going over the scene after the action sequence, and they're like, Professor, they were here. Who was here? Nixon, Houdini, Jimmy Hoffa. All probably would have been much more interesting villains than Rasputin in the movie.
Hellboy 3 should have been the villain of the Jimmy Hoffa.
What happened?
Jimmy Hoffa should have been the villain in Hellboy 3. I don't know what the fuck happened there.
You having a stroke?
You notice what I said there, right? I said Jimmy Hellboy 3 should have been the villain in Jimmy Hoffa. Hold on. Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, starring Hellboy.
No, I thought you
heard
meant like a
paint
copy
houses. Well,
Yeah.
fucking Ron Perlman Hellboy being in the fucking retirement home, decrepit. Keep the door open.
Thing that I remember specifically about Hellboy as a character, and it's the thing that makes him the best hero, and it's something that makes me love him as a cat owner. Hellboy loves cats. Hellboy saves the cat multiple times in these movies. Cats rock, baby. There we go.
Yeah.
You know what, Tanner? Why don't we haven't done this in a hot second. Let's get it out of the way, because Professor Broom is technically Hellboy's dad in this, and you know what to say about dads. Bring it on,
Dad's rock, baby.
There we go. We got a dad's rock.
I forgot.
Baby
You know, John
again.
Hurt in this movie's awesome. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that. John Hurt's awesome in this. He's
John Hurt
he's
is
so
really fucking
warm.
good.
He's such a warm presence.
Yeah.
Like, he's a warm presence, and he's also like so great at like ushering us into the insanity that we're like about to witness. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is such and such and such, and it's like he says it with such gravitas, because he is a classically trained actor that like you hang on by his every word, but it's like your grandpa telling you a bedtime story as well.
See the second movie where he does.
I was gonna say, which make.
Yeah.
He does exactly that, and you're just like, man, oh man, I am hanging by this man's every fucking word. This is incredible. Also, I love. It's like Tanner said it was. How did you phrase that storytelling device, Tanner?
It's less about it specifically in the movie and more just a lot of movies, I think, especially in the mid-2000s, do this, where the movie begins with, "Oh, tell me a story," and the story being told winds up referencing two crucial things: the antagonist of the movie you're about to watch and the plot device of the movie you're about to watch. But if you like analyze just the story, like forget it as a device to help introduce context and exposition, right? Remove it from that and just look at these bedtime stories as stories. They're kind of shitty stories, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
I think in the case for the one in Hellboy 2, not so much. But I think especially for Hellboy 2, that story like really works to help kind of like ease you in.
no, again, it works. I'm saying it works. I'm saying devoid of that context.
I know. I'm
Some
just giving my
elves were
opinion on
angry
it.
at humans, so they made a golden army, and then they didn't do anything with it at the end.
And then the guy's son was like, "I will come back and fix this someday." And the Golden Army's still out there. Like, what kind of fucking bedtime story has sequel bait? What the fuck?
I'm not gonna.
Where
try
is
to
Adam
defend
Sandler's Bedtime Stories 2?
it. But I
Starring
will say-
Hellboy.
Yeah, Joe,
But
go.
I will say this. I will say this for the movie, it really fucking works. I think John Hurt delivers it great, and also the way that they kind of call back to it every so often in the movie is also great. Like he hears of the Golden Army helmet, and he's just like, "Howdy doody," and it's like suddenly it clicks for him how serious it is. He's fighting the Golden Army at the end, and he takes one down, and he goes, it wasn't irreversible, but he says something that wasn't like it was supposed to be indestructible, but it was
Yeah.
what he said.
Oh yeah, it's a good callback because like yeah, when he was younger, he mispronounced it.
There's
Indeductible or
good
something like that.
callbacks. Indeductible, yeah, that's right. I think there's some good stuff with that going on in that movie.
Final thoughts.
Do we have anything else we want to say about this movie?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think we're running out of steam on this movie, on these movies. We're gonna just jump into our final thoughts on the Hellboy duology. I'll start with Rein. Your final thoughts, buddy.
That first one, I had fun with it. Wasn't too crazy about it though at the end of the day. The second one, don't like it quite as much as I did as a youth, but it still has a special place in my heart. And I can't smile without it, I guess. I don't know. Back to you, Joe.
Awesome. And I'm going to pass it off to Tanner. Give us your final thoughts on Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
You guys know that Selma Blair has multiple sclerosis? Because I'm just now learning this. That's so sad.
Yeah.
My aunt has MS. It's a shitty disease.
Yeah. It's like, if the fucking studio not killing Hellboy 3 wasn't a thing, I think that was going to kill Hellboy 3, because you can't have this movie without her.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I haven't seen Selma Blair in a movie in a long time. Why is that? And then I found out why, and I feel really sad now. That sucks. Yeah. Hellboy 1 is a good, fun movie, mostly carried by Ron Perlman's wonderful performance, while Hellboy 2 is just, I think, the ultimate form of what a Hellboy movie can be. It is the second best superhero movie to come out in 2008.
Yeah. Yeah, that is sad but true. In any other year, that
Dark
would be
Knight
the best.
came out a week after it. What were they thinking?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What were they thinking?
Give it a 2-week buffer at least. Like, come on.
Yeah. At the very least, it wasn't like the X-Files sequel that released the week after the fucking Dark Knights.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, an X-Files movie was never gonna light up the box office. No offense, Joe.
No, it never fucking would have, but after the Dark fucking Knight, it definitely was not gonna fucking light up the box office.
What about Mulder and Scully? What about Harold and Kumar? Fair point. A joke for Joe. That is a joke for Joe exclusively. Rain has no idea what we're talking about.
We actually got a lot of fucking it's just some random guy references in this. We got a couple of them in the last couple of episodes, actually.
I do like that it's just some random guy, sir. It's such a shame he died
do.
of ligma.
Yeah. Anyway, my final thoughts on Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. I love both these movies, again, to varying degree. I love the second one, obviously, a lot more. The first one, it's definitely significantly more flawed than the second one. It's got its issues, but it's still a really good time. It's still a good monster movie. It's still a pretty good comic book movie. Put it on during Halloween. It's a really good Halloween, early November kind of movie. It really fits the fall season. I'd say for the most part Hellboy 2 does as well, but Hellboy 2 I could watch at any time of the year and I'd still love. Hellboy 2 is just by far and away a better movie. Again, because it takes everything that was good about the first movie, cranks it up to 11, fixes the faults of the first movie. Again, if Pan's Labyrinth didn't exist, I would call this Del Toro's masterpiece. It's a fucking great movie.
Would you say it's an all-time favorite like it is for me?
I would say it's an all-time favorite.
Right.
I should watch this movie a lot more than I do. I used to watch this quite a bit when I was a kid, but I don't watch it as often anymore. I should rectify that, because this is Hellboy 2 is a great fucking movie.
Rectum.
Rectify.
You know who else can rectify?
You know who else can rectify the situation of the rectum? You! The person who's watching/listening to this episode, Bomb Squad Matinee. Thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army? What are some other obscure comic books that became movies that you like? Maybe we can cover them sometimes. Who knows? We're covering A History of Violence later this year.
In like 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah. So not that long from now. Fun way to promote that. Comment comment below. Is there anyone other than Ron Perlman that should play Hellboy? comment below. Let me know while you're down there. Hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified on when we upload new videos and what have you. Be sure to check us out on our socials. Check us out on Facebook. Do we still have the Twitter?
Yes, we're not using it that much, but it exists.
Okay, well, check that out if you're still on that shitty platform. But we do have the Facebook, we have the Insta, we have the Patreon. The Patreon, you get a lot of fun, exclusive perks on the Patreon. If you donate to the $5 tier, that's the one that gets you the commentary tracks, right, Tanner?
Yeah, $5 tracks gets you the $5 tier gets you the tracks.
Okay, cool. $5. You get commentary tracks. We've done some for. Recently, we did the Ice Cube War of the Worlds. We did the 2003 Daredevil movie. We did a series of unfortunate events. We did the SpongeBob movie. We've done quite a few of them. We need to do more of them. At some point, we are 100% doing Snakes on a Plane. So check that out. And if you donate to the $10 tier on our Patreon, you get a shout out at the end of the video. I'm assuming it's still.
It is still just my mom.
Okay, so it's still Tanya Kraft. We love Tanner's mom. Tanner's mom supports the show. We love it. So shout out to Tanya Kraft. Awesome sauce. I might as well promote the Twitch. We don't really use it that much anymore. I need to rectify that. Speaking of the,
I want to bring back jump cuts. Hopefully, it'll come off if I hate it.
Hopefully, it does. Tune in next time when Tanner will introduce what we're talking about next. Tanner, what are we talking about?
Next week, we are going to be having our first ever episode hosted by one of the newer members of the squad, Sydney Russell. We're talking about the 2020 movie Kajillionaire. Never seen it. Woo! Joe has.
I have. It's fucking great.
Should be fun.
It should be fun. But yeah, that's just gonna do it for our Hellboy 2 discussion. Thank you all oh so very much for watching. Hate to see you go because you know I can't smile without you. Come on, guys, I can't smile without you. No, I can't laugh, I can't sing. I didn't. Alright, and for copyright reasons, we'll see you later.
Eve, this is so good.
Slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."